You recently went to Shah Rukh Khan's house with your friends, and you guys partied with him till 5 o'clock in the morning.
His dedication, his intellect, his wit, everything is just beautiful. To be in a room with that man is just almost like a school.
You're not able to deal with your own intimacy.
Most underrated emotion or expression.
Commitment phobia.
I think we have a lot of options. Standing on a railway station and we can see a train passing और अलग-अलग बोगियां हैं. अब किस पे चढ़ूं समझ नहीं आ रहा मुझे.
I'm sure that you must be getting a lot of female attention as well. At times, does it prove to be distraction?
I mean, it just feels good to have people loving you and showering you with love. But hi guys, this is Siddhant Chaturvedi and you're watching Connect Cine with Faridoon sir, and please tune in.
It's a huge privilege to have Siddhant Chaturvedi with me. I've been following his work since the inception. I think he's a fantastically original actor, someone who thinks while acting, and I think he also has a unique ability in terms of writing. I think he'll be writing at some stage for sure in movies. But as of now, I think he's one of the most happening actors and stars that we have right now. Siddhant, welcome on Connect Cine with me.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really overwhelmed by the words. It's quite overwhelming actually, and I was hoping for you to watch the film and we would do this interview because since, as you said, at the inception of my career, I mean, I've always been looking forward to your interviews and I watch everything which you put up. So it's an honor, sir, to be here in front of you.
No, that's absolutely amazing. And as I told you, I've been watching your interviews and videos since the last 2 days, especially. I think any actor, when he is putting in a certain amount of cerebral element in his work, he's putting in a certain amount of thought in what he's doing. I think it's always a very, very positive sign. Is that a conscious decision on your part, or is it something that's happening organically?
So this is, I feel it happens organically because this is all I have. There's nothing more which I can do to have my perception of being an actor or being a star. It's all I've had in my arsenal since the start of my career, right from Gully Boy. Only and only this. Other than that, I don't come from a very well-connected family background, or I don't come from anywhere. So I feel this is the only thing which can take me wherever I want to go, or take me far. So it, I think, happens organically. It's a part of me, and I also enjoy what I do. Because before this, I was doing chartered accountancy, and after that, 4-5 years of doing nothing, it just is such a relief to be able to do what I love. And it's also my family who are very proud of whatever I've done till now, and they've always been looking forward to my work. And my dad, who loves cinema, he's my inspiration since the start of my career. So it's for him, it's for my friends, it's for my fans, and yeah, that's all I can do, to be honest. I have nothing else to actually showcase more than my work. So yeah.
So as I told you, I've been watching Shera on you since morning today, and you bulked up for that role. You have reduced muscle mass for Gaye.
Yes, sir.
To look much younger.
Yes, sir.
But there is that certain attitude in Shera, for example, and I think it's absolutely fantastically fantastic. And just when the movie came, and how it literally boomed, I still remember that.
Yeah.
Now, for you to become a character, I think that's a sign of a very good actor. You became MC Sher, and you became that part. When it comes to Gaye, for example, even though it's an extrovert, seemingly it's an extrovert and outgoing and in a way philanderer, even though he's innocently philandering, but he's philandering and outgoing as well. But that layering of child sexual abuse that is affecting his personality right through, that came out so beautifully. So getting into a world of a character, what is your preparation like?
I would give credit to the writers and the director, to be honest. Zoya and Rima also, I feel, give me the best characters ever. Maybe MC Sher or this. And that's what Zoya also keeps telling me, like in between when the films were not working. She always used to tell me it's not the films. It's like, she told me nobody uses you as an actor, the way they should. And she proved it right again. She gave me layers, and even in MC Sher, even though he was like out there and he was, all confident, and there's so much going deep in that one scene where I walk out of my house, and you see my father in that scene. So those little scenes, which are, I think, a result of beautiful writing, I feel. And also I do write myself, so I understand how a writer does the job, I think, which is 95% of the job is done. And the rest is just you have to go and fill it up and just do justice to that part. I also believe in less is more. So I don't try to like make those lines in a way where it should sound like, oh, I've got this dialogue or I've got this monologue, so I have to deliver it. I always have been very, very, very respectful to the literature, to the writing which is already there. So all I have to do is just feel it and just say those lines. And then there is BGM, there is music, there are the visuals and editing. A lot of things go into play before it actually comes out on screen. And with this one specifically, I think our director Arjun, who's also, we started a career together because he was Zoya's DA on Gully Boy. So I also feel very happy for him. And also I think I was surprised when I watched the film for the first time. His vision, even though I knew what he was doing, but I was really, really surprised the way he kind of especially dealt with the last scene. Any other director would have been like, okay, this is the monologue, we have to hit it hard, you have to make the people. Nothing, there was no pressure of that kind because we were coming from a place of authenticity and sensitivity towards the issue and towards the child abuse part. He took me to a therapist. We had like a lot of sessions with the therapist where we spoke about the behavior, the consequences, the mental space of somebody, of a survivor. So to understand, to have empathy with these things is, I think, as an actor, my job. That's why I keep myself very empty, almost like a canvas. I don't try to take the characters home. I don't try to get carried away with the characters which I play, because a lot of people ask me, what do you want to take away from the film or the characters? Like, I do not want to take away anything from the character because I want to be Siddhant, because Siddhant is almost like an empty vessel and I need to fill it up again and again when the next character comes in. And I like to get inspired from real life people, from sports men, from global leaders, from journalists like you. So I like real people and I like real conversations. Other than that, I don't take away anything. But yes, it is my duty to do justice to whatever has been given to me. And from the physical transformation is a thing which I feel half of the job is done when you can look like the character with the costume, with the way you walk or with the way you sit or stand, and the physicality of it. And I like doing that. I like to kind of, again, mold myself like a, clay and just get into so I know I'm looking like that part. And then the rest is just like, the director holds your hand and goes and makes you like, gives you a tour around the world of cinema he's creating. And all I have to be receptive and listen. So I think listening and reading in between the lines, because I know, sir, you write as well. More than the words, the silences are the beauty actually. And that's what I also believe. And I always catch the silences and the pauses more than the words which are written or spoken.
I think you said beautifully, reading between the lines, silences and pauses. I think that's why I'm saying that there's an actor in you which is basically craving for respect as an actor. I think stardom has been following you and will follow you in a big way. But that quest for finding that right note as an actor is something that seems to be your pursuit, and which is amazing. See, it's the writer, it's the directors that bring out the best in any actor. But I strongly feel an actor brings a lot to the table as well, especially when you're a good actor. Now, when it comes to body language, for example, you have different body language and different characters that you've been portraying.
Yeah.
You like having certain gray shades to your personality, be it गहराइयाँ. Even Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, there are moments when he can be really mean, for example.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the body language part of it, because getting that sur, that note of body language right, and getting it differently in different films, that's not easy. So what is your methodology for getting the body language right of the character that you're playing?
I think observation is the key, which is very basic. I won't be trying to make it sound very like, a big thing, because I think it's the very basic of observing people, I feel. And Sapan Verma, who's also a comedian who helped me do the stand-up. So I was just shadowing him for like, I think a couple of months. I also wrote my own sets and went and performed in front of a live audience, which was totally out of surprise to the audience, which they didn't know I was going to be coming. And I walked on stage and I did my thing for the first time. I was very nervous. What I do usually is I reimagine the life of the character as, what if I was a rapper, or what if I was a bowler, like an inside edge, or what if I was a stand-up comedian. As long as it's not a biopic, I think I'm not restricted to kind of imagine body languages and characters, and that's what I do. I try to kind of start absorbing all of that into me, and it just happens subconsciously, where I would suddenly be funny. I think I was funny for the good 3 months when we were shooting. I thought I was really funny because I could just find humor in anything. And then as soon as the film ended, again, I don't think I'm very funny in real life. Or maybe rapping, where I was rapping in Gully Boy. I was writing my own raps and I was doing it. But some things obviously you take from the character, and I only want to take those little good things. But body language wise, it takes me some time to kind of get out of it also, especially when the shoot ends, when I come back. And that's the very reason I stay with my family, because as soon as I go back home, when mom opens the door, I'm sucked back to reality. And that's why I don't like staying alone. I can't stay alone. I like to wake up to a house full of bartan noises and akhbar or chai or ye sari cheezein, because I feel it just makes me go back to who I am, makes me go back to the Siddhant who I am. But to catch on to a body language, I mean, there's no, I think, deeper answer to that. I just feel it's just observation and imagination which help me kind of think, okay, I would walk like that, I would sit like that, I would stand with a mic on stage like that. Or with Gully Boy, it was different with the mic. The way I even held the mic was very different. So it just depends, sir. On imagination and observation are the two key factors, I feel.
Right. Salim Khan साहब, सलमान sir's father, उन्होंने एक इंटरव्यू में एक बहुत कमाल की बात कही थी कि दैट एज एन एक्टर आप ड्रामा आप कर सकते हैं, मुश्किल नहीं है, ट्रेजेडी जो है मुश्किल नहीं है, एक्शन बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत मुश्किल चीज़ है वो है कॉमेडी. और कॉमेडी में सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है टाइमिंग, गेटिंग द कॉमिक टाइमिंग राइट. When it comes to your say stand-up comic actor, I think that is something that you're getting bang on.
Yeah.
Even when in the climax, the way it is, even though it is very serious monologue, but still there are moments when you say that I can always say that it was a joke.
Yeah.
So it makes you, like, even in a serious situation, it makes you chuckle. How do you get that comic timing right? You said that you shadowed Sapan Verma.
Yeah.
But ultimately, as an actor, and to look authentic, that is something that ultimately you have to get it yourself right.
So comic timing is, I think, also because of the bunch of friends I have from theatre who have been, and also I think comedy comes from life, I feel, and I have seen life, जितनी भी देखी है जिंदगी थोड़ी बहुत, जिंदगी से आता है, और स्पेशली ज़्यादा पेन से आता है, I feel, comedy. And I have been low, I have been in pain when I used to get rejections, even after like phone booth, when it didn't work. A year of my life was very low and a little, I was contemplating. और मुझे लगता है ह्यूमर सबसे ज़्यादा वहीं से आता है, एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई आल्सो से इट इन द फिल्म एज वेल, दैट व्हेन यू थिंक यू वर फनी, एंड आई से दैट आई थिंक व्हेन आई वाज सैड, इट्स दैट आई थिंक। और जितने भी लोग हैं, चाहे वो जावेद साहब भी हैं, सलीम, वो पर्सनली इतनी उनकी टाइमिंग कमाल की है, आप भी जानते ही होंगे। इवन दो दे हैव रिटन द मोस्ट इंटेंस फिल्म्स, बट जब आप जावेद साहब के साथ बैठते हैं या उनके इंटरव्यू सुनते हैं, वो इतनी कमाल की कॉमिक टाइमिंग है, और वो आती ही वहीं से। आई थिंक क्योंकि ज़िंदगी का एक उनको एक नज़रिया होता है, एक तजुर्बा होता है, और एक दर्द होता है जो वो हमेशा अपने आसपास देखते हैं। और अगर आप इतना वो दर्द भर लेते हैं अपने अंदर, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको एज एन आउटलेट निकालने के लिए चीज़ों को फ़नी करना आप शुरू कर देते हैं चीज़ों को। सो मुझे लगता है कि वो नेचुरली वो चीज़ है मेरे अंदर, बिकॉज मैं भी लिखता हूँ और मैं भी चीज़ें, पेन इज़ आई थिंक वन ऑफ माई फेवरेट इमोशंस एज अ पर्सन ऑल्सो। I like to embrace pain. I like to embrace chaos, because that's where I feel like channelizing it into art and channelizing it into a song or writing or a dance form. So I feel pain is the key to being funny, and coming from where I come from and seeing my life and my parents' life and things around and my friends who are still struggling to be actors, I see a lot of pain there. And but we get together, bunch of people, चाय पे बैठते हैं, और लेकिन हम जिंदगी को लाइटली लेते हैं क्योंकि हमें पता है कि बहुत हैवी है।
Right. So you mentioned about the writing part of it. So would you like to write and direct at some stage?
I have I've not thought about that, sir, because I feel the people who do are so good at it. मैं छोटी छोटी चीज़ें लिख सकता हूँ, एक आध दो लाइन लिखता हूँ मैं। प्रोज या लिटरेचर या कहानी फॉर्म करने में मुझे मुश्किल होती है, बिकॉज आई एम वेरी डिपेंडेंट ऑन द राइटर्स। बिकॉज होता क्या है कि मुझे भी I feel very excited to read a new script, and I feel where the writer is coming from and what they are doing. So I like to read stories, but I like to write these little snippets, जो मेरे experiences हैं in a poetic form. That's all I can do as of now. I have ideas which come in like a couple of lines, but I still can't sit and write that the 10-pager or a full-blown script, because I feel there are so many of them out there who are doing such a great job, जो कि सोते जगते खाते पीते उसी में है. They are only and only thinking about that. So as a respect to also that profession, I feel I need to see more, learn more, and it's a profession, it's an art, which I think needs a lot of, anything which you want to do in life needs a lot of time to master it. And I feel that as of now I'm good with what I do, and I would not want to even try doing that, because I don't think the results will be good. But all I can do is basically what I do in films also. I tweak a little bit here and there, because जब हिंदी साफ है थोड़ी तो समझ में चीज़ें समझ आती हैं जल्दी, तो उसमें एक आध दो चीज़ें आगे पीछे करता हूँ, वो भी मैं पूछ लेता हूँ उनसे कि कर सकता हूँ या नहीं कर सकता. लेकिन उससे ज़्यादा मुझे नहीं लगता सर कि मैं कभी लिख पाऊँगा या डायरेक्ट कर पाऊँगा. अभी फ़िलहाल मुझे बहुत मज़ा आता है एक्टिंग करने में, और अगर कुछ कर पाऊँ एक्टिंग से ज़्यादा तो मुझे लगता है म्यूज़िक में करूँगा. मैं गाने लिख सकता हूँ, मैं लिरिक्स लिख सकता हूँ, और मैंने लिखे हैं 4-5 गाने जो कि मैं शायद इस साल मैं सही समय का वेट कर रहा था, क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहता था कि क्योंकि MC शेर था, मैं नहीं चाहता था कि अगर मैं कुछ अभी डालूँ तो लोगों को लगे कि उसी फॉर्म में है या वही चीज़ लिंगर हो रही. तो आई नीडेड सम सब्सटैंशियल कैरेक्टर और समथिंग मोर देन अ क्रेडिबिलिटी, विच आई थिंक आई गॉट फ्रॉम खो गया हमका as Imad. So now I can, I think, move on and start putting out things which I have worked on with a few of my musician friends. But that's also not singing, because I can't sing well, but I can do spoken poetry or I can rap a little bit. So वो भी उसी में होगा, not trying to sing, and again that requires a lot of effort and a lot of dedication to do also that.
No, I think you rap excellently. There is, and you're a very good performer as well. I think at some stage, I think your dancing skills haven't been really utilized that well in a film.
Yeah.
I think you dance really well. I think, and I hope, and I'm sure that it will happen at some stage. Okay, now, when it comes to Kho Gaye Humka, I think it's raising some very important issues, especially what for the youngsters they tend to grapple with. I'll briefly ask a few of the things, and would like to have your opinion on how you look at it. So there is this very, I think, notable confrontation scene between you and Adarsh after the stand-up,
when I roast
the stand-up act.
yeah.
And when he says something about in terms of that you're not able to deal with your own intimacy.
Yeah.
How do you look at the confusion that tends to be around intimacy as far as youngsters are concerned, and how important is getting maybe in a way a certain correct definition of intimacy, right?
So the thing is, now I think earlier it was better before social media happened, like the times when we grew up in. Because there was no other escape but just to sit down and just talk with your friends, play with your friends in person. Now with social media, I feel it's almost like a barricade behind which you can hide your emotions and you can project a life which is not maybe yours. It is a desirable life because you've seen like a lot of famous people do it. So you try to kind of project that there, and that's where the intimacy dies because you're not being real or being authentic to who you are. You need filters or you need a certain kind of positioning on your social media for people to think that your life is perfect, and that's where that thing kind of starts slowly fading away because you never know. Because the thing is, as people look at you, you start kind of perceiving yourself like that. And you start projecting that in real life as well. And that may be the problem there because then you're not being real to anybody and you're not letting anybody come close to you because if people have seen your picture with filters, now you want to do like a lot of makeup or wear those kind of clothes even though you're not feeling or even though you're not in the mood. You put up that whole persona and you walk out and you try to sound as cool as your captions are, which might be Googled from quotes, funny quotes I want to put on captions. And you try to have that because that's what's more accessible. And I think the desperation to be intimate and the desperation to be liked in life is what actually ironically kills the intimacy. Because people will only and only like you and people will only love you when you're real. When you're one-on-one with them, when you actually are vulnerable, when you show them your sides, your different aspects. Aaj mood nahi hai to nahi hai, aaj mood off hai to off hai. You can't be happy all the time as it looks like on social media. So that has, I think, been really a problem, and especially after the pandemic, a lot of people got addicted to it because all we had was our phones and OTT. So people have started kind of projecting that everywhere, and it takes a lot of time to actually now know people. Trust issues are on the rise because nobody's trusting anybody. Catfishing is a thing. People are meeting on dating sites and you only get to know person after a year or two that what the real person was. So I think that social media has created that little barrier which we initially thought would connect us to our friends. When Facebook and Orkut had come, we were so excited to be connecting to our old friends. Now it's suddenly become so much that you're connecting with your own parents and connecting with your own close friends also through social media, where I see ki if I uploaded a picture, if somebody has uploaded a picture, mom and dad are commenting, वाह बेटा amazing, पैरी पौना चल रहा है comment thread में, और आपको पता है कि वो आपके बगल वाले रूम में ही बैठे हुए हैं. तो ये कुछ अजीब सा हो रहा है और दोस्तों के बीच में भी ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं कि मीम्स शेयर होते हैं. लेकिन वो मीम्स फनी होते हैं because you're trying to get over something and you're trying to kind of get that cheap dopamine from social media. But in real life, nobody's calling a friend and talking at 4 a.m. friends कहा करते थे हम, वो 4 a.m. friends नहीं हो गए हैं, वो 4 a.m. group chats और memes हो चुके हैं, I feel. So वहीं पे intimacy I think छुप जाती है. And as far as my character is concerned, he uses comedy as a social defense mechanism, and this is the world we live in, and I hope we become more real, and I think it is happening eventually because I think the social media is reaching its peak and eventually people would want to step out, and I see a lot of posts where people are writing about what they're facing rather than trying to project a good life, and that's being also appreciated a lot. So it's getting better, and I think it'll only get better. It's just a phase in evolution, I feel.
Yeah, I think you also answered the entire social media element, and
Yeah.
I think I saw that video where Ananya was saying that she recently switched off her Instagram notifications,
Yeah.
and it was quite a discussion. So that was there. All right. Okay. Now commitment phobia.
Yeah.
What are your views on commitment phobia?
Well, commitment phobia is a thing now. because I think we have a lot of options. I would look at it as an analogy. I would look at it almost like standing on a railway station and we can see a train passing और अलग अलग बोगियाँ हैं. अब किस पे चढ़ूँ समझ नहीं आ रहा मुझे. किस वाली बोगी में मैं बैठूँ या कहाँ जाऊँ जो मुझे अपनी डेस्टिनेशन तक ले जाए या अपनी मंजिल तक ले जाए, वो समझ नहीं आ रहा अब लोगों को. तो बस खड़े खड़े वो देखे जा रहे हैं. और वही हो रहा है रील्स पे भी, और वही हो रहा है प्रोफाइल्स पे भी, कि अच्छा इनसे मिल लेते हैं. एक आध दो मीटिंग हुई नहीं, इनमें कमियाँ अब दिखने लगती है लोगों में, बिकॉज जो सामने वाले हैं वो भी ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, वो दिखाई नहीं रहे हैं कुछ कमियाँ हैं. मेरी तो लाइफ परफेक्ट है, लेकिन आप जब मिलते हैं उनसे 3-4 बार आपको लगता है ये तो परफेक्ट नहीं है, तो चलो अब ऐसा कोई ढूंढ देंगे जिसमें वो चीज़ें पूरी हो जाए. लेकिन हम ये भूल गए कि जिस तरह से सोशल मीडिया परफेक्ट होता है, इंसान कभी परफेक्ट होता नहीं है. ऑल यू नीड टू, नोबडी इज परफेक्ट, यू नीड टू फाइंड समबडी यू कैन फाइंड दैट परफेक्शन विद इवेंचुअली टुगेदर. एंड दैट्स व्हाई कमिटमेंट फोबिया इज ऑल्सो हैपनिंग, बिकॉज इट्स कॉल्ड पैराडॉक्स ऑफ चॉइस. आई फील इतने सारे ऑप्शंस हैं कि मैं कुछ चूज़ ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. और आपका मन जो है डिस्ट्रैक्ट होता रहता है, मन बहलता रहता है, कुछ ना कुछ आता रहता है अपने सोशल मीडिया पे जो लगता है कि यार ये अच्छा है, काश ये होता तो ये अच्छा है. और इसी में कहीं ना कहीं वो आई थिंक कमिटमेंट फोबिया बसता है उसी चीज़ में कि आप सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है ना अपनी लाइफ से, या सेटिस्फाइड नहीं अपने चॉइसेस से. आपको लगता है कि यार वो जो उसके पास है वो मुझे चाहिए, या ये कमाल है यार, काश मेरे पास भी ये चीज़ होती, चाहे वो गाड़ी हो चाहे कोई भी चीज़ हो. और मुझे लगता है कमिटमेंट फोबिया से सबसे बड़ा the biggest disadvantage of commitment phobia is the power to manifestation. The power to manifest is going weaker and weaker because people are not sitting looking outside the window and manifesting where they want to be. They are constantly being pressurized by okay, फलाना ने निमकाना ने इतना कुछ अचीव कर लिया, and they are constantly feeling jealous or feeling left out or feeling like I haven't done enough. That feeling ना कि मैं fulfilled नहीं हूँ, I haven't done enough is also a part of that thing. And that's why people are just chasing something which is again ट्रेन की बोगियाँ हैं, वो चेस किस पे चढ़ना है वो पता ही नहीं है, बस चलती जा रही है और ये इन्फिनाइट है. और आप स्वाइप करते रहिए, आपको चीज़ें मिलती रहेंगी, आपको एस्पिरेशंस मिलते रहेंगे. लेकिन जब अपने फ़ोन, जब मेरे समय पे तो इतना नहीं था इंस्टाग्राम, जब मैं शुरू हुआ था तो मैं सोचता था ज़िंदगी के बारे में. मैं खिड़की के बाहर तारों में देख के मैं चीज़ें सोचा करता था कि ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा. मैं अपने दिमाग में अपनी ज़िंदगी सोचता था एज अ फिल्म. But just because the film is now right now in front of you and they are short films in 30 seconds or 90 seconds, you're just like aspiring in. तुमने 2 मिनट पहले सोचा कि okay I want to have that car or I want to have that life, उसके 4 मिनट बाद तुम ये सोच रहे हो कि ये कैसे बनाते हैं या सर्दी के नुस्खे क्या हैं, क्योंकि अलग अलग चीज़ें आ रही हैं. सो आपका थॉट कोई भी स्टे नहीं कर रहा है. मुझे लगता है कोई भी चीज़ आप होल्ड नहीं कर पा रहे हो. एवरीथिंग हाथ ऐसे खुले हैं, जो अपनी पकड़ थी वो थोड़ी छूट गई है, अपने सपनों पे भी है या फिर आप जिसके साथ होना चाहते हो उसके साथ भी. तो वो पकड़ने की क्षमता थोड़ी कमज़ोर हो गई है मुझे लगता है, और बहुत डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग है. चाहे वो बच्चों के लिए जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो उन लोगों के लिए जो कि कोई लव या लाइफ पार्टनर ढूंढ रहे हैं, या उन लोगों के लिए जिनको कुछ चीज़ें हासिल करनी है ज़िंदगी में.
Purpose. Okay. Now, this constant lack of self-belief, being judged all the time, and this constant quest for a world that is non-judgmental.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. You put it right. It's always it's going to be a conquest for a long time, with AI coming in and with technology coming in. Human touch, and which is a very primal emotion, I would say, is still there. It's taken a back seat, but it will come back soon. I think once we are done and we are bored with all of these things. Right now it's fine, almost like ये नया खिलौना है. So it's very fascinating. नया कुछ ऐप आ जाता है, अपडेट आ जाता है. So we always feel कि we have to be in touch with what's happening. We have to be updated with everything which is happening. But to just step back and feel the moment and be in the moment and reality is something which I think is going to be the conquest in the coming times.
Right. Now, the sort of characters that you played, say, especially if we talk about Gaye and say Koga and Maka as well, I'm sure that you must be getting a lot of female attention as well. At times, does it prove to be a bit of a distraction?
Honestly, for me, it's always that thing lies in the future. I don't know. To kind of, when I was doing my CA, I had no time for any kind of female attention because I really quickly wanted to get done with my chartered accountancy and start pursuing my career in acting. And as soon as I got there, I felt like I do not have the money, or I have not made it, so I do not deserve to, be here. So again, I kept struggling, and as soon as I made it, I felt there's so much more, there's a lot of expectations, so I need to, keep giving and keep giving more and more to people. And that's why, I mean, it just feels good to have, people loving you and showering you with love. But honestly, it never distracted me from anything. For me, it's it's very normal somehow. I don't know. It's become very normal where I am definitely kind of wanting it because everybody loves attention, everybody loves the validation for your work. But it never crosses the line where I feel like, oh, it's distracting, or I should, pay attention to that, because I feel, okay, now I have the love of these many people. Now I want the love of even more. I need to reach out even more. So it's a constant, as you said, constant quest of wanting more. That's what I feel. And that's why it's never distracting. It's always inspiring, I would say, and motivating to, have all these people love me so much for whatever I do.
No, see, personally, I'll tell you something honestly. I look forward to all your work because देखिए क्या होता है कि see, I look at myself as someone who loves consuming good content, and personally, and I have no aspirations of turning director, actor, anything of that sort. So I'm very happy being on the other side, but I like being surprised, and you constantly surprise as an actor, and which is wonderful.
So that's the biggest compliment. That's what I work for. I think missed out on that. The biggest compliment for me as an actor to be a surprise. And I was always fascinated with magic shows. When I was a small kid, I used to go to this jumbo circus जब मैं बलिया में था. वहाँ पे मुझे magicians बहुत कमाल लगते थे. And I always feel as an actor you have that ability to kind of pull out something which people haven't expected or haven't seen, to pull out that thing out of the hat. And that's one of the biggest compliment and that's what I work for, to surprise people, not to just sustained but to surprise.
देखिए, अगर मैं खो गए हम कहाँ गए, मैं आपका जो कैरेक्टर है उसके बारे में अगर बात करूँ, what I absolutely found fascinating, and I loved it as well, that he's being frivolous, he's being casual, he can be funny, but he's having that glint of something is missing in his life right through.
Absolutely.
Very consistently. Yeah. And you get to know, and there are hints of what really happened with him. There's something that has happened, and he's having these sessions for therapy. That is masterclass. And I think if you can do it at this stage of your career with so few films, then I think sky's the limit. I have absolutely no doubts about that, and congratulations to you for that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So Siddhant, यहाँ पर अगर मैं कनाडा की बात करूँ, मैंने काफ़ी लोगों से मैंने बात करी है और उन्होंने अपने आप से जिक्र किया है जब कंटेंट की बात होती है कि हमने खो गए हम कहाँ देखी, and we really like the film, and your performance has been appreciated as well. Now we are living in very very interesting times. अगर हम 2023 की बात करें और अगर हमसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम हिंदी फिल्म्स की बात करें और भी ज़ुबानों में इंडिया में कंटेंट आता है, कमाल का कंटेंट है. मोस्टली ये जो थिएट्रिकल परफॉर्मेंसेज जो कि बहुत पसंद किए जा रहे हैं वो बिग स्क्रीन एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, जो जिसमें एक्शन है, एडवेंचर है, सारी चीज़ें. लेकिन जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल 12th फेल आती है एंड इट डज वेरी वेरी वेल इन सिनेमा हॉल्स, एंड दैट्स लाइक अ ब्रेथ ऑफ फ्रेश एयर फॉर मेनी पीपल. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू OTT, खो गए हम कहाँ is something which is being called as one of the best content that has come on OTT in 2023. As an actor who has that star appeal, how do you look at yourself in this scheme of things in the years to come?
So it's always been a dream. I mean, the very reason I wanted to be an actor was to be on the big screen, silver screen. But now I feel, especially after the pandemic, कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो I think जैसे ये फिल्म खो गए हम कहाँ डिजिटल एज के बारे में है, सो ये डिजिटल मीडिया पे आए तो we all felt that was better because we needed maximum reach. Also, the whole month was very crowded. Some big films were coming out, and we wanted to release this film almost around the New Year's also because the theme of the film, it starts with that and ends with that. But having said that, my aspirations are even bigger now. I also want to, my next goal is to be as a very commercial, bankable actor. And that's where I'm heading, because the next film, which is an action film, which has been shot since the last 3 years, and we have worked so much on that, right from the BGM, who's being done by the Pathan guys. Jay Oza, who shot Gully Boy, has shot it. Ravi Udyawar, who directed Mom. Farhan sir has written the screenplay with Sridhar Raghavan, who's written the story, and edited by Anand Subhaya, who's edited Dawn. So we are all ready to kind of come on the big screen. I think it'll be releasing sometime, and it's an action film, which is also, as a guy, one always wants to be this action hero, and that was my dream. But as an action hero, or to come to theaters, I think you need a certain kind of equity, and that's why this film was supposed to happen right after Gully Boy. But I kind of requested my producers to kind of move it a little bit more, because I wanted to explore more and have play different kind of characters, because coming from an alpha character, MC Sher, I just didn't want to be stereotyped and come back in action again. So I wanted some kind of a break as a young actor to explore different genres, which is why I kind of I requested them to move it a little bit. And as we moved it, the pandemic happened, so again there was a 2-year pause with that, and we've had some outdoor international locations to shoot. But right now the film is looking good, and it's looking, very on a very big scale. And I'm just fingers crossed, because this is my one attempt of going all solo action hero film with, again, pushing the boundaries of cinema a little bit. As always, I would not want to do something which I think people are doing better already. So have my own, or have a different kind of a take on that, or different, something which just pushes the boundary, something which is new, something which is surprising. And hopefully that will happen in, I think whenever the film releases in the summers this time. And fingers crossed for that. But my aspirations have always been to be there. But also I've understood the means have changed. The times we grew up in cinemas, theaters were the only medium. So I feel I want to be like a cricketer who plays a test match, plays T20 and plays the IPL also. So maybe one for the theater, and then, something which might not be fitted for the theater and people can watch at home. I would do that as well. But I would not want to restrict myself. But the priority will always be the big screen, and getting audiences to watch in a community, to get people together. Especially when people are now stuck with their phones and people are stuck with their iPads and laptops and TVs. I would want them to come out, take time out, and in a community watch something which we have made with all the love.
Right. Now, you spoke about the alpha male part of it. In the recent times, we've seen the sort of discussions that have happened for Animal and Ranveer's character. At times, does it bother you when a character is judged in such a manner, and things are put in a microscope, and every single thing is hugely scrutinized in more ways than one? And does it in a way slightly put you on the back foot as an actor?
Not really. I feel everybody has the right to opinion now. Everybody has a phone. Everybody will have their feedback. Because if I order food from somewhere, and if it's not as how I would like it, I would want to write a feedback on the food app. And that's the language we are, and that's the world we are living in. That's the way of communication we are communicating with. A film, I think goal as a producer or as an actor or as a director or writer is to reach maximum people it reaches. And if it does that, that means it's a sign that, it did well. Now there'll be people who might not like it, and it's okay. It's absolutely okay to not like it. But as long as it's entertaining, or it's serving a particular group of audience, I think it's fine. And that's why I said that I never get inspired from my characters, my films, or any film, because that's the wrong way to do. There's so many things in life for so many real people to get inspired from. Now, as a country, we do get emotionally attached and we get influenced or inspired by a certain film. But I don't think that impression lasts long, because we have an influx of content coming from all the way. It's not as how it was when Diwar or Sholay or DDLJ released, where people were, running away from their houses to meet the one they loved, and like how Raj did in DDLJ. It's not, the impact is not going to be that long lasting because people are more educated. I think people have that sense to choose who to get and what to get influenced from. I think they can make right from wrong. They can know that this is a film and that particular actor was playing a part. And yes, as long as it was entertaining, it's fine. And I think the audience is more responsible now. So I would actually put this pressure on the audience that if you're responsible, then I am free to do whatever I want to as an artist. And everybody should have as a right to showcase whatever they want to do. Or else art will just, it will fade away, it will subside, because if you give a rule book of what to do and what not to do, then that's not art, then it's propaganda. But I think as a cinema, I mean, there are so many people, Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick, and there's so many things, Taxi Driver, there's so many films which have kind of broken the norm, and a lot of people got inspired from that, and a lot of people behaved like that for a certain period of time, but that's not long lasting. And I think cinema has evolved. As people, we have evolved. It's almost been around, I think, 100 to 150 years of cinema, 100 in our own country and 150. So I think we are responsible. We understand this is a form of entertainment and not get influenced or inspired by, as long as it's, in law and in regulation, you can only get inspired to wear what they're wearing and do your hair like that, because that's not going to be taken away, because that's what, stardom is. When you watch Ghazni, you make your hair like that, but you're not going to be like writing things on a piece of paper and going around killing people. I think people have that much sense. They like the hero and they like the style, कि अच्छा swag है, अच्छा style है, तो ये हम follow करते हैं, and people do that. So it's I think the people are quite responsible to take their own calls on that. For me, it doesn't affect me. I only choose things which are very imperfect, which are not perfect. And as you can see from the choices which I have made, I only choose with things which are a little हटके, या उसमें वो twist हो या कुछ अलग हो. I also feel I'm not as big as the stars of the films which you spoke about, to be also feeling the responsibility or the pressure to kind of portray a certain kind of image. So I think when we cross that bridge, I think I'll know what to do and what not to do, or if I have to pick up that project or a certain project. But right now I'm open to everything, and I want to try doing every part and everything which I can to full justice.
Amazing. All right. So you recently went to Shah Rukh Khan's house with your friends, and you guys partied with him till 5 o'clock in the morning. Now you said that you want to create that mark as far as big screen experience is concerned. Many people say that he's one of the biggest superstars that we've had, maybe the last of the superstars. That's what some people say as well. Do you find the entire experience of spending time with him and looking at the way he's performing, like say at 57 and the sort of 2023 that he has had, does it inspire you in a way?
Absolutely. He's always been an inspiration, and he'll always be an inspiration for all the people who are trying to do something in life, not only the actors. I think more than an actor, he's a philosopher. He sees life in a wholesome. So I feel people from different walks of life get inspired from him. His dedication, his intellect, his wit, everything is just beautiful. To be in a room with that man is just almost like a school where you learn so much, and he makes sure that he talks to you. It's not like when he calls to you at his house. It's not like he's just not interacting. He interacts with each and everybody. He takes that effort, because now I know why he is what he is, because he makes everybody feel so special. He goes to everybody and talks to them and listens to their experiences, and that's why he is ever growing, and that's why he's ever evolving, because he's taking in. Even though we feel what will our experiences even add to what he is, but he's studying everything, he's observing everything. He'll want to know what I'm doing next. He want to know how I did that. He's very curious like that, and that's why he's just so aware of things around him. And that's something which I learned from him, that even though at that stage it's not like, okay, I've arrived and I'm not gonna be, even though he's the king, he'll still kind of go out and interact with everybody. So I think that's the most beautiful thing which I also want to inculcate in my life. and I do. I have my friends, and as much as I, feel like I just go and I interact, I call people to my place, or I'll go to people's places, I'll travel, and that's when you're ever evolving. You can never stop it because, oh, I'm a star, I'm restricted, I'm not going to get out of the house, or I'm not going to be doing this or that. To be welcoming and to be like connecting with people is, I think, is beautiful, which is what I think he has mastered. To have a two-way conversation through cinema and in person is what I think he's so good at.